Oh, man. Yesterday was just one of those days.
Oh, what happened?
You know that feeling when you're like already exhausted and the day hasn't even really started yet?
Oh, yeah, I know that
I
feeling.
woke up late, missed my bus, and then I ended up like smashed on the train
Ugh, it's the
like a
worst.
sardine.
It's the
And by
worst.
the time I got to work, I just felt completely drained.
Yeah, I feel like everyone's been there.
Oh, for sure.
Especially, if you live in a big city and you're trying to like get to work during rush hour.
Totally. And we're actually diving into that today.
Mm,
Rush hour survival. It's
yes.
like a universal struggle, especially for us, people trying to make it in the city.
Yeah.
So we've got a ton of interesting stuff to unpack today from articles, studies, even some personal stories,
Mm-hmm.
all about how to not just survive, but actually maybe even thrive during rush hour. So make sure you like and subscribe because this is going to be good.
This is gonna be good.
So, it's funny because it's not just about being physically crowded, right? It's all those little things. It's like a psychological thing, too.
Absolutely.
And it's funny because one of the articles we're looking at today talks about that, like all the tiny annoyances that just kind of add up and wear you down. Like loud phone conversations,
Yeah.
people bumping into you,
Yeah.
and just this constant feeling of being rushed,
It's
like sensory overload before you've even had your coffee.
Yeah, and like it's not just an annoyance,
Right.
right? Researchers have actually looked into this, and they found that this kind of like low-grade stress that we experience during rush hour, it can actually mess with our cortisol
Like
levels.
the stress hormone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And when your cortisol is high first thing in the morning, it can actually make you less productive, harder to focus, you're more likely to get annoyed. It's like setting yourself up for a bad day.
Wow. I never thought about that, but it makes total sense.
Yeah.
So, okay, we've established that rush hour kind of sucks.
It does.
So, what can we actually do about it?
Oh,
Because we can't just like not go to work.
yeah, right.
So, I mean, I know the articles mentioned some tips, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What are some of the things that people are saying?
Well, what's interesting? A lot of the advice is actually pretty simple. Like, one of the biggest things is just leaving a little bit earlier, like even 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Seriously?
Seriously. I know it sounds small, but it can make a huge difference in terms of how crowded the train is or, whether you're stuck in traffic or not.
Okay, that's actually a really good point
Yeah.
because I'm definitely guilty of hitting that snooze button a few too many times.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe those 10 minutes would make all the difference.
Yeah. Just that little bit of extra time can really change your whole morning.
Hmm. All right, that's good advice.
Yeah.
But what if you're already leaving early and it's still a nightmare? Like, what else can you do?
Well, another thing the articles talk about is being strategic with your route. Like, sometimes the most direct route isn't actually the fastest or the least stressful. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So, like, maybe there's a back street you could take to avoid the worst of the traffic.
Hmm.
Or maybe there's a bus that takes a little bit longer, but it's usually less crowded.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I tend to just take the same subway line every day because it's the most direct, but it's also always packed. Maybe it's worth experimenting a little.
Exactly. And, even if the alternative route takes a few minutes longer, those few minutes of like not being crammed in with a ton of people,
Hmm.
that can actually make a big difference to your overall stress level.
Okay, so leave a little early, think about your route. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
But what about like the mental game of rush hour? Because even if you're not physically uncomfortable, it can still be so mentally draining.
Right. That's why it's important to have like a plan for how you're going to kind of create your own little bubble of peace in the middle of all the chaos.
Okay, I like that. A bubble of peace.
Yeah. The articles talk a lot about using things like music or podcasts to kind of distract yourself from all the craziness around you. Totally. And you know what? I actually find that having a good podcast to listen to can totally transform my commute. It's like instead of being bombarded by all the sights and sounds of rush hour, you're focused on something that's interesting and engaging.
Exactly. It's about intentionally shifting your focus.
Yeah. So maybe our listeners could try listening to the deep dive during their commute.
There you go.
A little bubble of peace and information.
Perfect.
So it sounds like the key takeaway here is that rush hour doesn't have to be this horrible experience that we just dread every day.
No, not at all.
With a little bit of planning and the right mindset, we can actually make it, if not enjoyable, at least manageable.
Exactly. It's all about taking control.
So I think we've covered a lot of really great information today. Thanks for breaking it all down.
Yeah, it's been fun.
And listeners, remember to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the everyday. But before you go, I want to leave you with this. You know how sometimes people talk about going on like micro adventures?
Right.
Like finding little ways to make your everyday life more interesting.
Yeah, I love that.
Well, what if you applied that to your commute? Like maybe instead of always taking the same route, you try a new coffee shop near a different bus stop.
Oh, I like that.
Or maybe you get off the train one stop early and walk the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Just little things to shake things up and make it a little bit more of an adventure.
Yeah. It's all about finding ways to make those little pockets of time feel a little bit more positive.
Exactly. All right. Until next time, happy commuting, everyone.
Happy commuting.
So, have you ever, like, tried to say something in another language and just totally blank?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
It's like the word is right there on the tip of your tongue, but you just can't, like, access it.
It's the worst.
I was trying to order a coffee yesterday in Italian, and I could not remember the word for milk.
Oh, no.
I mean, I know it, obviously, but I just, like, completely froze.
I can totally relate.
Anyway, it got me thinking about this amazing diary entry that we are diving into today. It's all about someone's journey learning English.
Yes. This diary is so cool because it's not just about like grammar rules and stuff. It's about the real life experience of learning a language.
Right, exactly. So this person starts out barely knowing how to, like, say hello,
Mm-hmm.
and in just 3 years, they're having full-on conversations with clients at work in English.
It's amazing, right? Like what they were able to accomplish. And, the diary actually goes into how they did it.
Okay, so spill the tea.
Yeah.
What was their secret?
Well, it wasn't some kind of like intense language boot camp or anything.
Right.
They focused on consistency. Just small, manageable steps every day. Like they would watch English TV with subtitles for 30 minutes.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And they even mentioned watching, like, Friends.
Friends, a classic. I love Friends.
Right. It's perfect for language learning because the dialogue is, like, pretty clear and easy to follow.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then later on, they started watching Modern Family, which is, like, a little bit more challenging.
Well, that's interesting. I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it's good. But it's definitely a step up from Friends in terms of, like, the vocabulary and the speed of the dialogue.
So, like, they were gradually increasing the difficulty as they got better.
Exactly. And I think that's such a smart approach.
Yeah.
Because if you try to jump into something too difficult right away, you'll just end up feeling, like, overwhelmed and discouraged.
Totally. Been there, done that.
Right. So it's much better to, like, start slow and build up your confidence over time.
Makes sense. What else did they do? Besides, the TV thing.
Well, they also talk a lot about the importance of, like, actually using the language in real life situations.
Okay.
So, for example, if they learned a new word while watching Friends, they would try to use it at work the next day.
Oh, that's so smart.
Like, even if it was just a small thing, they would make a conscious effort to, like, incorporate new words into their daily life.
And I guess, like, not be afraid to make mistakes.
Exactly. That's a huge part of it. The diary actually talks a lot about how making mistakes is, like, inevitable and actually a really valuable part of learning.
Right, because if you're so scared of making a mistake, you'll never actually speak, right?
Yeah. And they actually have this great analogy about building a house brick by brick.
Okay, I like where this is going.
So, you can't expect to build a whole house overnight. It takes time, patience, and yes, even a few crooked bricks along the way.
Oh, I love that.
But eventually, with enough practice and perseverance, you end up with a beautiful, solid house.
It's such a good analogy. Because language learning is kind of like that, isn't it?
Totally. Like you have to lay the foundation first.
Yeah.
And then you just keep adding bricks, one by one, until eventually you've built something amazing.
And like you said, you're going to have some crooked bricks along the way. But that's okay.
Yeah, that's totally normal. And I think, like, the more you embrace those mistakes, the faster you'll actually learn.
I think that's such a powerful message because so many people, myself included, are just so terrified of sounding silly or making a mistake
Uh-huh.
that they end up like not speaking at all.
Exactly. And this diary is like a reminder that it's okay to mess up. In fact, it's essential.
Love it. So to wrap things up, what are the key takeaways here?
I think the biggest thing is that consistency is key.
Right.
Like just making a little bit of effort every day can make a huge difference over time.
Okay, that makes sense.
And also, don't be afraid to put yourself out there and use the language in real life situations.
Even if you make mistakes.
Exactly, because those mistakes are actually how you learn and grow.
So basically, small, consistent effort, active use of what you learn, and viewing mistakes as opportunities.
You got it. This person's journey is a great reminder that we can achieve anything we set our minds to.
As long as we're willing to put in the work, embrace the challenges, and maybe even have a few laughs along the way.
Exactly.
I love that. So, to all of our listeners out there, I have a question for you. What is one small step you can take today to move towards your language goals?
Yeah, let us know in the comments.
And if you like this deep dive into language learning, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more insightful episodes.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
It's funny. I was talking to a coworker yesterday,
Uh-huh.
and they were saying how tired they've been feeling lately, like all the time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it turns out they
Yeah.
think they might be dealing with burnout.
Burnout. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so common, like
Yeah,
especially for people in their 20s and 30s.
it's true.
And it's like this source material we're looking at today,
Right.
it really dives into all of that, like
Wow.
all that stuff about feeling tired all the time
Oh, yeah.
and just being super stressed and even having trouble sleeping.
Oh, tell me about it.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people listening can relate to that.
For sure. And you know what gets me?
What?
The lack of motivation.
Uh,
Like just getting started on anything feels impossible.
I've totally been there.
Remember that time I missed that deadline?
Oh, yeah.
I just couldn't get myself to start the project.
Oh, I've had those days too.
It's the worst.
Definitely. Like once, I was so overwhelmed. I accidentally sent an email to the wrong person.
Oh, no.
I know. It's crazy how burnout just messes with your brain.
Totally.
Yeah.
But hey,
Yeah.
what I really like about this source material is that it gives us some actual tips to deal with burnout.
It does, right.
It's not just doom and gloom.
Exactly. It's like, okay, burnout is bad, but here's what you can actually do about it.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, the first tip is all about taking those short breaks during the day.
Yes.
I used to think that powering through was the best way to get things done.
I know, me too.
But honestly, even just stepping away from my computer for 5 minutes
Right.
makes a huge difference.
It really does. There's a ton of research on this.
Is there?
Yeah. Our brains, like, they're not designed to focus for hours and hours straight.
That's interesting.
Yeah, those short breaks, they really help to reset your attention span,
Hmm.
and they can even, like, boost your creativity.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like hitting the refresh button for your brain.
I like that.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't feel guilty about taking a quick walk to the coffee machine or something.
No, not at all. In fact, the source material even mentions, like, going for a walk at lunchtime.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good for you.
I know. Getting some fresh air and sunshine always makes me feel so much better,
Absolutely.
especially if I've been stuck inside all morning staring at a screen.
Definitely. And it gets you moving, too,
It does.
which is so important when you're sitting all day.
Oh, yeah. Sitting for hours is the worst for you.
It really is. And that actually connects to another tip from the source.
Oh, okay. What's that?
Talking to friends about stress.
Oh, that's a good one.
It is. Sometimes just venting about a tough day or whatever
Yeah.
can make you feel so much lighter.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Right.
Like when I'm stressed, I hold all this tension in my shoulders.
I do that too.
But then if I just talk it out with a friend,
Yeah,
it's like a weight lifted off.
totally.
Yeah.
Plus, it helps to know you're not alone, right?
Absolutely. Like having that support system is so important.
For sure. And sometimes your friends can give you a fresh perspective on things.
That's true. They can help you see things in a new way.
Exactly. So, yeah, don't underestimate the power of just talking to your friends.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Now, another thing the source material mentions is doing fun things after work.
Oh, yeah.
This is something I've been trying to be better about lately.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, instead of just crashing on the couch after a long day,
Yeah.
I've been trying to actually do things I enjoy, you know?
Yeah, like what kind of things?
Well, for example, I've always wanted to try pottery.
Cool.
So I finally signed up for a class.
That's awesome. I'm so glad you're doing that.
Thanks. It's been really fun.
That's great to hear. You know, it's so easy to let work take over your life,
It is.
but it's so important to have hobbies and activities that you enjoy outside of work.
Right. Things that bring you joy.
Exactly. It helps you maintain that work-life balance.
For sure.
And that's key for preventing burnout.
It's like a reminder that there's more to life than just work.
Absolutely. Now, two tips that might seem obvious, but they're so crucial.
Okay, what are they?
Sleeping well and eating healthy food.
Yeah, those are important.
We can't underestimate the power of those basic needs, you know?
Yeah.
Like if you're constantly sleep deprived
Okay.
and you're fueling your body with junk food all the time, it's no wonder you're going to feel burnt out.
True. It's like trying to run a car on empty.
Exactly. You need to take care of your body if you want it to function properly.
Right. I know when I'm not sleeping well, I get so irritable.
Oh, me too.
And I crave all those sugary snacks that just make me feel worse in the long run.
I know, it's a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
But you know, even small changes can make a big difference.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like even just making sure you're getting enough sleep most nights
Uh-huh.
and trying to eat a little healthier
Right.
can really help.
Definitely. And finally, the source mentions things like yoga for relaxation and stress management.
Yeah.
Which is great. But I think it's important to find what works best for you, right?
Yep. Absolutely. What works for one person might not work for another.
Exactly. Like, I've tried yoga, but honestly, I find that going for a long run helps me clear my head more effectively.
That's awesome. You know, it's all about finding what helps you de-stress and recharge.
Totally. Like,
Right.
maybe for some people, it's painting
Right.
or listening to music.
Yeah. Or spending time in nature.
Exactly. The important thing is to find those things that help you unwind and take care of yourself.
For sure. And, you know, the key takeaway here is that you have the power to combat burnout.
Yes.
It's not something you just have to passively accept.
Right. You can actually do something about it.
Exactly. By incorporating these tips into your life, you can really make a difference in how you feel.
That's so encouraging.
It is. And, you know, it doesn't have to be all at once.
Right.
Start with one small change
Yeah.
and then build from there.
That's great advice. Well, this has been such an insightful deep dive.
It has.
Thanks for talking about all this with me.
Of course. It's been my pleasure.
And for our listeners, if you enjoyed this deep dive and you want more like it,
Yeah.
don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button.
Yes. We'd love to have you join us for more deep dives into all sorts of interesting topics.
Absolutely. And before we go,
Yeah.
I'm going to leave you with a thought.
Okay, I'm listening.
What's one small change you can make today to start prioritizing your well-being and avoid burnout?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah, it could be something as simple as taking a 5-minute break
Right?
or adding an extra veggie to your dinner,
That's a great one.
or even just going to bed a little earlier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Small steps can lead to big changes.
That's so true. So think about what one small step you can take today,
Yeah, and start there.
and hopefully you'll start feeling more energized and less burnt out.
I hope so too.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
See you next time.
Oh, man, you wouldn't believe what happened to me yesterday.
Oh, really? What happened?
I stayed up way too late watching a movie, even though I knew I had to wake up early this morning. And yeah, let me tell you, getting out of bed at 6:30 was brutal.
Oof. I know that feeling.
It really got me thinking about routines, though. Like, healthy routines. I mean, what actually works?
Yeah.
How do you make them actually stick, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
So luckily for us, we have some really interesting material to dig into today, and we also have our amazing expert here with us to help us break it all down.
Happy to be here.
Awesome. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives just like this one.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's get into it. What really stood out to me in all of this material was this like super detailed account of one person's entire day. It
Hmm.
was almost like a routine diary or something. I
Interesting.
thought maybe we could walk through it together kind of chronologically and see what kind of lessons we can take away from it.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, so the day starts with the basics,
Mm-hmm.
water stretching and a little bit of exercise.
The essentials.
Right. It seems pretty simple and straightforward,
Yeah.
but I'm actually curious, like, do those things really make a difference?
Oh, they totally do. It's all about prepping your body and mind for the day. You know,
Right.
like your body's been basically offline for hours while you're sleeping.
Yeah.
So drinking water is like, okay, rehydrating yourself, stretching wakes up your muscles, those sleepy muscles.
Right.
And then even just a tiny bit of movement, that gets your blood flowing, gets your energy up.
Right.
It's like, it doesn't have to be a crazy workout or anything. Like
Yeah.
even 15 minutes makes a difference.
Totally.
It's like sending a signal to your body. Okay, time to wake up. We're up and running now.
I like that analogy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about checking boxes, you know, it's about setting an intention for the whole day.
Exactly.
So up next in the routine diary is breakfast, toast with avocado and eggs.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty simple but effective.
Uh,
I think I've heard so many opinions about breakfast over the years. What do you think? Is it really the most important meal of the day?
hmm. I don't know if I'd say it's the most important, but it definitely plays a super important role, for sure.
Okay.
A balanced breakfast gives your body the fuel it needs to, function properly, both
Mhm.
physically and mentally. Think
Right.
of it like starting your call on a cold day.
Okay.
You need that initial boost to get going.
Totally.
What I find really interesting about the breakfast in our routine diary here is how simple it is.
Yeah.
It's not about some fancy recipe or, weird ingredients or anything. It's just about nourishing your body with good, healthy food. And that's
Yeah.
something we can all do no matter how good of a cook we are.
Totally. And it's a good example for, making healthy choices throughout the rest of the day.
Exactly.
And speaking of choices, our source goes on to describe a conversation about coffee. Specifically, a friend is trying to cut back on coffee and switch to tea in the afternoons. Now, I got to confess, I'm definitely a 2 cups of coffee a day kind of person.
Yeah.
But this idea of a gradual shift, it's intriguing.
Mm.
What do you think about that?
I think it's a great example of how we can change our habits for the better. It's not about completely depriving yourself.
Right.
It's more about finding healthy substitutes that you actually enjoy.
Right.
And the social aspect of this is really key. Having a friend who's also trying to cut back on something, whether it's caffeine or anything else,
Right.
that can give you support and accountability.
Totally.
You're more likely to stick to your goals when you've got someone to go through it with.
It's so true. Like, I'm way more likely to go to the gym if I've got a workout buddy.
Totally.
It's like having a built-in cheerleader and an accountability partner all in one.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's move on to the after-work routine. Our source mentions going for a short walk, like just 20 minutes.
Okay.
Seems almost too simple to make a difference.
Okay.
But I'm guessing it's got a bigger impact than we might think.
Oh, absolutely. Even a short walk can do wonders for your physical and mental well-being. You've probably been sitting at a desk all day,
Right?
staring at a screen. So a walk gives your body a chance to stretch your eyes, a break from the digital world, and your mind a chance to decompress.
Yeah.
It's a transition, a ritual,
Uh-huh.
that signals the end of the workday and the start of you time. Plus, that fresh air and the change of scenery can be so refreshing.
It's like hitting the reset button on your whole day.
Exactly.
And our source actually reflects on this and says how these small habits like this can make a big difference over time.
Yeah.
It's not about making these huge, drastic changes all at once.
Right.
It's more about incorporating these small things consistently.
Exactly. Consistency is key when it comes to creating healthy habits that last. It's not about being perfect every single day. It's about showing up and making an effort even when you don't feel like it.
I like that.
And those small steps over time can lead to big changes in your overall well-being.
Okay, so let's wind down with the evening routine. Our source has a light dinner, soup and salad, followed by reading a book for 30 minutes instead of screen time.
Nice.
This all sounds super relaxing to me.
It's all about creating a calm atmosphere that sets you up for a good night's sleep. The light dinner means you're not going to bed feeling super full and sluggish.
Right.
And swapping screen time for reading, helps to reduce mental stimulation.
Yeah.
It's like dimming the lights in your brain so it can relax and get ready for sleep. There are other things you can do too, like taking a warm bath, listening to calming music, or doing some light stretching.
Mhm.
It's all about finding what helps you de-stress and get into sleep mode.
I love how our source talks about feeling a sense of accomplishment at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like I stuck to my routine today.
Right.
There's something so powerful about that feeling.
It really is. Achieving even those little goals, like following a routine for just one day,
Right.
that can boost your self-confidence and encourage you to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
It shows you that you have the power to make those positive changes in your life, one step at a time.
So what does all of this mean for our listeners? I think the big takeaway here is that building healthy routines, it's a journey. It's not about reaching some perfect destination.
Absolutely.
It's about finding what works for you, making small changes and sticking to them and celebrating those little wins along the way.
I love that. It's about designing a lifestyle that makes you feel good, both physically and mentally.
Yeah.
And remember, it's okay to have off days. We all slip up sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But what matters is that you get back on track, Keep moving forward, one healthy habit at a time.
That's a great note to end on.
Yeah.
So for all of our listeners out there, here's a final thought. What's one tiny change you can make to your routine today to become a healthier and happier version of yourself? Share your thoughts down in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into fascinating topics just like this one.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye for now.
See ya.
Hey, everyone. So, have you tried anything new lately? Like something you've never done before. I tried meditation for the first time yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my friend's been telling me about it forever.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I've never really gotten around to it. But yesterday I finally did.
How was it?
It's harder than it looks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my mind was like just racing with a million thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't.
It's so common, though.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Also.
Okay, good.
Especially when you're first starting out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, speaking of trying new things.
Yeah.
You guys shared something pretty interesting
Yeah.
about trying something new, right? Trying meditation.
Yes.
We're going to deep dive into that today.
That's right.
So if you like this kind of stuff, don't forget to subscribe and like. Okay, so let's jump in.
Okay.
So this story is called My Simple Day.
Yeah.
Right? Pretty simple title.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it really gets at something that's kind of big.
Yeah.
It's like finding peace and quiet in our crazy world.
Yeah, in the midst of all the busyness.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so easy to get caught up in everything that's
Totally.
going on.
And I love that the person who wrote this,
Yeah.
they're talking about how they just want to feel calm and focused.
Yeah.
And, they want to try meditation to get there.
That's a great goal.
Yeah, it is a great goal. And I bet a lot of people feel the same way, right?
Absolutely.
Like, who doesn't want to feel more calm and focused?
Yeah, exactly.
And so they're saying like their mind was so busy at first,
Yeah,
Like they were thinking about emails and what's for dinner,
yes.
all that stuff. It's so normal. I mean,
I mean,
I was the same way when I tried it yesterday.
yeah, it's not about
Yeah.
clearing your mind completely.
Yeah.
It's more about noticing those thoughts
Okay.
and letting them go, like watching them drift by
Oh, interesting.
without getting too attached to them.
Okay. So it's not about like stopping thought
No,
completely.
no.
Okay.
It's more about just kind of being aware of them
Okay.
and then returning your focus to
I see.
your breath or whatever your anchor is
Yeah.
in that moment.
Oh, okay. Interesting. And it's so funny. They found a YouTube video called Meditation for Beginners.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
Classic.
I feel like everyone starts there.
Totally.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, it's a great resource.
Yeah. And it's so accessible.
That's the beauty of it.
Right.
You don't
Like you said, you don't need anything fancy.
need anything. You
Nothing
just
like
need a
that.
few minutes and an open mind.
Yeah. And
It's
while
not an internet connection.
yeah. Okay, so they also mentioned sitting with a straight back.
Yes.
Right.
It seemed
It's one they were meditating.
a small thing, but
It's
it's
like,
actually really important.
yeah, it seems small.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking about that too. Like, why is posture
Mm.
so important?
Well, it's all about the mind-body connection.
Okay.
When you sit up straight,
Yeah.
you're more alert.
Okay.
You're more present. That helps you to
I see.
focus better.
So it actually like affects your meditation.
Exactly.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
And I love how they're so honest
Hmm.
about it being
Yeah.
harder than they expected.
It's not easy,
Yeah. But they still felt a
You
little
know.
better afterward.
but it's worth it.
Right. And that's really encouraging.
Yeah, that's the
Wow.
key.
Yeah.
Like
Like it's not going to be
you don't have to be perfect at it right away.
perfect the first time.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
keep practicing.
Okay.
Keep trying.
Yeah.
And you'll start to see the benefits.
Okay. And their friend gave him really good advice.
Oh, yeah. What was that?
They said, you grailvite, keep trying, little by little.
Yeah, little by little. I love that.
Yeah. That's great advice.
Yeah, consistency is key.
Yeah. And they actually decided to try again tonight.
No, that's great.
Right.
Good for them.
So they're going to give it another shot. And there's this line that really resonated with me.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
They said, life feels so fast,
Mm-hmm.
and meditation is like a pause button.
That's such a powerful image.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's true, right?
It is.
Like we're all just,
It's like hitting the reset button.
it's so true.
Yeah.
Taking a moment
And I think that's what a lot of people are looking for.
just to breathe and be present.
Yeah, exactly. And, maybe it is meditation.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something else.
It could be
And
anything.
That idea of like finding that pause button, I
Yeah.
think is so
Yeah.
important.
It's about finding those little moments of peace
Yeah.
in your day.
And they end by talking about wanting to make meditation a habit.
Oh, that's great.
Right.
Yeah.
To find that calmness that their friend
Make it a part of their routine.
talked about.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really good
I think that's a great takeaway.
takeaway. Right.
Yeah.
Like it shows that even a simple day
Yeah.
can be about so much more.
It's about trying new things.
Absolutely.
It's about being
Yeah.
honest about the challenges.
being honest about the struggles
And finding those little bits of peace.
and finding those little moments of calm.
yeah,
I love that. It's inspiring.
it is inspiring.
Yeah.
And, it makes you think, what can we do to find those moments of calm in our own lives?
What small things can we do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it is meditation.
Maybe it's something completely different.
Right. Maybe it's.
But the important thing is to try
Yeah.
to experiment and to find what works for you.
What works for you. Exactly.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for diving into this with me. It's really fun
Yeah.
to kind of explore
Pleasure.
the simple day. And all the big ideas are brought up.
Yeah.
And hey, what small things do you do to find calm in your day? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into fascinating topics. Until next time, take care. Hey, you know how sometimes you have one of those conversations that just really sticks with you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that happened to me yesterday. I was at lunch with some coworkers,
Oh, yeah.
and somehow we got on the topic of sleep,
Oh, I know how that goes.
and it was like everyone had a sleep deprivation story, you know?
Right.
One person's only getting like 5 hours a night, another one's up till 1 a.m. scrolling on their
Oh,
phone.
yeah, that's me.
It was kind of funny,
Yeah.
but also kind of alarming,
Yeah.
you know?
Uh-huh.
Like, it really got me thinking about the stuff you sent in.
Okay.
Because it just seems like everyone's struggling with sleep these days.
You know what it really is?
Exactly.
It's incredibly common.
Yeah.
And you've hit on something really important there.
Okay.
That humor that we use to deflect from the issue.
Right.
It's almost like a badge of honor
Yeah.
to be sleep deprived.
Yeah. I only got 4 hours of sleep last night.
Exactly. But joking aside,
Yeah.
it's a serious topic
Totally.
with some serious consequences.
Right. And the material you shared
Sure.
mentioned some common culprits like work stress, those never-ending phone notifications,
Yeah.
and of course the joys of parenting.
Oh, yeah.
But there's one suggestion in there that I found really interesting.
Okay.
Someone mentioned napping at work.
Oh, yeah.
I have to admit, my first thought was, is that even allowed?
Right. Uh-huh.
But could it actually be a good thing?
It might seem a little counterintuitive,
Yeah.
but napping at work is gaining traction, and for good reason.
Oh, okay.
It's not just about feeling less tired.
Right.
It's about boosting your brain power.
Interesting.
There's actually research showing that even a short nap, like 20 minutes,
Wow.
can improve your alertness
Oh, wow.
and help you think more clearly.
So not just a quick energy boost, but actual cognitive enhancement.
Exactly.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, like, what's the science behind this?
Okay, sure.
Why are naps so effective?
Well, think about it this way.
Okay.
You know how your phone needs recharging?
Yeah. Our brains aren't that different.
Uh.
When we nap, even briefly, we allow our brains to cycle through different sleep stages.
I see.
And one of these stages, called stage 2,
Okay.
is particularly important for memory consolidation and cognitive restoration.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I imagine some people might be skeptical about this whole napping thing.
Right.
You know, napping at work can seem a
Yeah.
little lazy.
Uh-huh.
How do you convince those who think it's just slacking off?
I get that.
Yeah.
The perception is definitely shifting, though.
Okay.
The key is to understand that napping isn't replacing a good night's sleep.
Right.
It's a tool
Got it.
to mitigate the inevitable dips in energy
I see.
that we all experience,
Yeah.
especially when we're sleep deprived.
Totally.
And when you look at the data,
Yeah.
it's hard to argue with the results.
Okay.
Studies show that napping can lead to increased productivity,
Wow.
better decision-making, and even fewer errors.
So it's not about laziness.
It's about working smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
I like that reframing.
Yeah.
It's about maximizing our potential,
Mm.
not just powering through exhaustion.
Right.
But speaking of maximizing,
Yeah.
what about those of us who can't exactly sneak in a nap at work?
Okay.
What are some other strategies
Good question.
we can use to combat sleep deprivation?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is where the source material gets really interesting
Okay.
because it highlights those everyday habits that we often overlook.
Right.
For example,
Okay.
think about how much time you spend scrolling on your phone before bed.
Oh, yeah.
That blue light from your screen
Mm-hmm.
actually suppresses melatonin,
Oh, really?
a hormone that helps regulate your sleep cycle.
Huh. Interesting.
So even if you're in bed for 8 hours,
Yeah.
the quality of your sleep might be suffering.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm guilty of that myself.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get caught up in that endless scroll.
Exactly. And it's not just about the time spent. It's also about what you're consuming.
Okay.
Social media news,
Yeah.
even work emails can trigger stress and anxiety, making it harder to wind down.
Yeah.
So setting boundaries around technology is crucial.
Okay, so putting the phone down earlier, checking those notifications less often.
Yeah.
What else can we do to improve our sleep hygiene?
Consistency is key.
Okay.
try to go to bed and wake up around the same time each day, even on weekends.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
This helps regulate your body's natural sleep-wake cycle,
Uh-huh.
making it easier to fall asleep
Right.
and wake up feeling refreshed.
I see.
And don't underestimate the power of a relaxing bedtime routine.
Yeah.
A warm bath, reading a book,
Right.
or listening to calming music can signal to your body that it's time to wind down.
So it's not just about the hours of sleep, but also the quality.
Exactly.
And it sounds like a lot of it comes down to being mindful of our habits and routine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think the takeaway from this deep dive is that while chronic sleep deprivation is a serious issue,
Yeah.
there are tangible steps we can take to improve our sleep.
That's good to hear.
It's about understanding the science,
Right.
identifying our personal sleep disruptors,
Uh-huh.
and making small but consistent changes.
Yeah.
And remember, prioritizing sleep isn't selfish.
Right.
It's an investment in our health, well-being,
Yeah.
and overall quality of life.
This has been such an insightful deep dive.
Glad to hear it.
It's a good reminder that we don't have to accept sleep deprivation as the norm.
Right.
So, listeners, challenge yourselves this week.
Okay.
Put the phone down an hour earlier,
Yeah.
create that relaxing bedtime routine,
Uh,
and maybe even explore the possibility of a power nap at work.
I like it.
You might be surprised at the difference it makes.
Right.
And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the science of sleep, don't forget to like and subscribe
Yeah.
for more thought-provoking content.
Absolutely.
We'll be back next week with another fascinating topic.
Looking forward to it.
Until then, sleep well.
Sleep it.
Today we're looking at this really interesting diary entry from someone who noticed a lot more people out jogging and thought they'd give it a shot themselves.
I love this one.
And we've got an expert here to help us
Yeah.
kind of unpack this whole thing.
It's so relatable, I think, for so many people, especially, those of us in our 20s and 30s. It's like we're all so busy and stressed trying to,
Totally.
balance work and life and everything.
Yeah. Did you see that part where they're talking about their
Oh, yeah.
morning coffee run and they see like
Yes.
10 people already out jogging?
10.
Like 10. I mean, come on.
Well, it's a lot first thing in the morning.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
is everyone becoming a jogger except me?
Right. Like, am I missing something?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's a feeling a lot of people have.
For sure.
Especially these days. Like, everyone's suddenly so health conscious.
Yeah. And it's not even just like the whole, fitness thing. It's like they were talking about their coworkers.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
One of them's like, oh, yeah, jogging helps me deal with stress.
Right.
And another one's like, I do it to like clear my head.
Totally. Like, it's a mental health thing, too.
Yeah.
There's actually a ton of research on this.
Really?
Yeah. Like, there was a study in the Journal of Happiness Studies
Okay.
back in 2023.
Okay.
And they found that jogging, like, regularly can actually
Wow.
reduce your stress hormones.
No kidding.
Yeah, and even improve your sleep.
Hmm.
So it's not just, people saying it. It's, like, scientifically proven.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And it's not even just a morning thing.
Right.
This person is like, they went for a walk at lunch
Mm-hmm.
and they saw even more joggers then.
It's everywhere.
It is. It's like,
You can't escape it.
yeah. So it's got to be more than just like squeezing in a workout,
I think so, too. I think it's also about, like,
Yeah.
community,
Like a social thing.
Yeah, like, think about all those running clubs that have been popping up, or, like, group fitness classes.
Oh, yeah.
It's like we're all so connected online these days,
Right.
but then in our actual lives, we're kind of isolated.
Yeah. It's like we're craving that
Yeah.
face-to-face
So
connection.
exactly that shared experience.
Yeah, totally. And speaking shared experience, this person actually tried jogging themselves.
Oh, yeah. How'd that go?
Well, they're pretty honest about it. They said it was tough at first.
I bet.
You know, like getting winded, having to stop and catch their breath.
Yeah, that's how it is for everyone at the beginning.
Right, we've all been there.
Totally. And I think that's what makes this diary entry so great.
Yeah.
It's like so relatable. They're not afraid to be honest
Yeah.
about the struggles.
It makes you feel like,
Oh.
okay,
Yeah.
I can do this too.
Exactly. It's not about being like some super athlete.
Right.
It's just about like pushing yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
Celebrating those small victories.
And finding your own pace.
Exactly.
It's cool that they had a neighbor give them some tips too.
Oh, yeah. What kind of tips?
You know, just like basic stuff like staying hydrated,
Mm-hmm.
wearing proper shoes.
Oh, that's so important.
Right.
Yeah, you don't want to get injured,
Yeah.
and it just makes the whole experience so much better.
I love that idea that like
Yeah.
these little tips from your neighbor can be just as valuable as like some fancy training program.
Totally. It's like that shared knowledge that's been passed down
Mm-hmm.
through communities.
So cool.
It's awesome.
And did you see the part where the neighbor's like, oh, you should listen to music or podcasts while you jog?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
I do that all the time.
Me too. Like,
Not really.
it helps the time go by faster.
Yeah, and it can be really motivating.
Totally. Like
Yeah.
some upbeat music can really pump you up.
Yeah.
Or like a really interesting podcast can just make you totally forget that you're even exercising.
It's like a little escape.
It is.
Okay, I have to ask about the running bananas.
Oh.
This person saw a group of joggers all wearing bright yellow shirts.
So funny.
It just cracked me up.
Yeah, it just shows that jogging doesn't have to be so serious.
Right.
It can be fun and silly.
Yeah.
It's like a way to connect with others.
And just enjoy being outside.
Exactly.
It seems like that was the biggest takeaway for this person. You know, the end of the diary entry, feeling tired, but happy.
I love that.
Yeah. And looking forward to more jogging adventures.
That's awesome.
It's really inspiring to see someone, you know, try something new and like actually discover how much they enjoy it.
Yeah, it makes you think like, what can we all do to add a little more movement and joy into our own lives?
That's a great question.
Yeah, like it doesn't have to be jogging. It could be anything.
Yeah.
Dancing, hiking, swimming.
Anything that gets you moving.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, we'd love to hear from you guys.
Yeah.
What are your favorite ways to stay active? Share your experiences. And until next time, keep exploring.
Oh my gosh, you guys. I did it again.
What happened?
Fell down the short video rabbit hole.
Oh, no, not again.
Yeah, no, I know. I always say, I'm just going to watch one.
Yeah.
And then like an hour later,
Poof.
gone.
Exactly. It's like time just disappears.
It really does.
And, you know, it's funny because that's kind of what today's deep dive is all about.
Oh, yeah.
We've got this really interesting story from somebody who's talking all about their experience with short videos.
Yeah.
And how it was impacting them, like how much they were watching and how it was actually making them feel.
Interesting.
So if you're into like understanding these kind of things and how our brains work and all that, definitely make sure you like and subscribe because you're going to want to catch all of these deep dives.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So this person was basically writing down their experience, almost like a diary entry, you know?
Yeah.
And they were just being super honest about coming home from work, plopping on the couch, and immediately grabbing their phone.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds familiar
Doesn't it?
to a lot of us. That's like the routine, right?
Exactly.
For so many of us. And, you know, that's part of how these short videos really get us because they're kind of designed to fit right into those little moments.
Totally. And this person even talked about feeling like a robot sometimes, just like endlessly scrolling.
Oh, wow.
So I'm curious, like, what's the science behind that? Like, why do we get so hooked?
Well, it all comes down to our brains and a little thing called dopamine.
Dopamine.
Dopamine. Yeah. It's basically like this chemical messenger
Okay.
in our brains. And whenever we do something that feels good, you know, like when you eat something delicious or you finally finish that project you've been working on, your brain is like, woohoo, here's some dopamine. This is great. Let's do that again.
That makes sense.
It's like a reward signal. It makes us feel good and it
Okay.
makes us want to repeat those behaviors.
Okay.
So guess what? Short videos, they're like masters at triggering that dopamine release.
Oh, really?
Each video is like a little tiny hit of reward. And it keeps us craving more and more and more.
I see. That's so interesting. And this person even compared short videos to candy.
Oh, I love that analogy
Yeah.
because it's so true.
Right. It's like enjoyable in the moment,
Uh-huh.
but not really good for you in the long run.
Exactly. It's like empty calories for your brain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, candy gives you that quick sugar rush, but it doesn't have the nutrients your body needs to be healthy.
Right?
And short videos are kind of the same way. They might entertain you for a minute, but they're not really helping you learn or grow.
Yeah. It's so true. And this person even mentioned that their coworkers were also struggling with this.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Some of them were having trouble sleeping because they were scrolling late into the night.
Oh, that's not good.
And others were saying that they couldn't focus on reading anymore,
Oh, wow.
which I thought was really interesting because I have a friend who used to be such a bookworm,
Yeah.
and now they can barely get through a chapter.
It's so sad.
I know. It's like, what's happening?
Well, that's one of the big downsides of watching too many short videos. You know, we're constantly bombarded with all this quick information and entertainment. It starts to mess with our sleep.
Uh-huh.
It can actually shorten our attention spans.
Wow.
Our brains just get used to that super fast pace, and it makes it harder to focus on things that require more, like, sustained attention, like reading a book.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So what can we do about this?
Well, that's the cool part.
Mm-hmm.
This person actually decided to take control, and they set some rules for themselves.
Like what?
Things like setting a timer for how long they'd watch videos, and even like moving the app to a different screen on their phone.
Oh, that's smart.
So it's not so easy to access.
Right.
It's all about being more intentional with our devices.
Yeah.
It's like having a budget for your money.
Mm-hmm.
You decide where it goes instead of just spending it mindlessly.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
So they're basically like budgeting their attention.
Exactly.
I like that. And they also started doing other things during their breaks instead of just watching videos.
Like what?
Like they started to talk to their coworkers more
Oh, nice.
or reading a book.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, like a simple English book, just to kind of like relax and de-stress.
That's awesome. I love that they're not only breaking free from that video cycle, but they're also connecting with people and learning something new.
Right. Exactly. It's like finding those fulfilling alternatives
Uh-huh.
that actually nourish your mind and your relationships.
Totally.
And there's this one part that I thought was really interesting.
What's that?
They talked about trying to stay away from short videos for a whole day.
Ooh, whole day.
And at first they felt super anxious,
Yeah.
like they were missing out on
It's
something.
like FOMO.
Right?
Fear of making out.
Exactly.
That's a real thing.
But then after a while, they said they actually felt calmer and more focused.
It's amazing how that works, right?
Yeah.
It's like when you break a habit that's been taking up so much of your energy.
Yeah.
Like think about when you cut back on sugar.
Okay.
At first, you might crave it like crazy, but then after a while, you start to feel so much better.
Right.
It's the same with our brains and technology.
Mm.
There might be a little withdrawal at first, but as we resist that urge and we start doing other things,
Yeah.
we discover this sense of peace and clarity that was hidden under all that noise.
It's like anything else. Moderation is key.
Absolutely.
And this person ultimately realized that you don't have to completely give up short videos,
Right.
but it's all about finding that balance.
Exactly. The key is awareness.
Yeah.
Once we start to recognize our own patterns and how the choices we make affect us, then we can actually make conscious decisions about how we spend our time and energy.
So true.
Yeah.
Wow, this has been such a thought-provoking deep dive.
It really has.
I'm already thinking about how I can be more mindful with my phone.
Me too.
What about you guys? What strategies do you use to find that balance with technology? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, we want to hear from you.
And hey, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives like this one.
You never know. Maybe trying something new, like learning a new language, could be your key to breaking free.
That's a great idea.
Until next time, keep exploring and keep learning.
Love it.
See you later. Bye.
Do you know what happened to me yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
My cat sat on my laptop
Oh,
while I was working.
Oh, no.
It was so funny. We're talking about cats today.
Okay.
How to take care of them.
Okay.
If you like cats.
Yeah.
You will like this deep dive.
Love cats.
Don't forget to like and subscribe for more fun tips.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
So that actually brings us to our first point.
Okay.
Cats need a lot of attention and care,
Yeah, they do.
but they give us a lot of love in return.
So true.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's start with the basics.
Okay.
What do cats need every day?
Well, first of all, cats need food and water,
Yeah,
just like us.
of course.
But they also need some special things
Okay,
to be happy and healthy,
like what?
like a scratching post.
Oh, yeah.
Cats love to scratch.
My cat has a scratching post and she uses it all the time.
That's great.
Yeah.
Scratching posts help cats keep their claws trimmed and healthy.
They also help them stretch and exercise.
And it saves our furniture.
Exactly. Another important thing for cats is grooming.
You mean brushing their fur?
Yes. Cats need to be brushed regularly to keep their fur clean and free of mats.
I brush my cat every day.
Mm-hmm.
She loves it.
That's wonderful.
Yeah?
Brushing is also a great way to bond with your cat.
Oh.
It's a time for cuddles and attention.
Speaking of attention,
Yeah.
cats also need to play.
Absolutely. Play is essential for cats.
Okay.
It helps them stay active and healthy.
Right.
It also helps them develop their hunting instincts.
My cat loves to chase toys.
Uh-huh.
What kind of toys are best for cats?
Cats love all sorts of toys. Balls, feathers, stuffed mice,
Wow.
you name it.
My cat also loves to play with empty boxes.
Cats love boxes. They provide a sense of security and privacy.
That's so interesting. So we've talked about scratching posts, grooming, and play.
Right.
What else do cats need to be happy?
Cats need a safe and comfortable place to sleep. They also need a clean litter box.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Where's the best place to put a litter box?
A quiet and private location away from their food and water bowls is ideal.
And how often should we clean the litter box?
At least once a day.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yes, cats are very clean animals.
Okay.
And they can be picky about their litter boxes.
I've noticed that my cat prefers a certain type of litter.
That's not uncommon.
Oh.
You might need to experiment with different types of litter to find one that your cat likes.
Good to know.
Yeah.
So we've covered a lot of the basics of cat care,
Yes, we have.
but there's still more to learn.
That's right.
We'll be back with more fun and helpful tips in part 2 of our deep dive into the world of cats.
See you then. Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of cats.
We're talking about how to keep our feline friends happy and healthy.
In the last part,
Yeah,
we discussed the basics of cat care,
right.
like scratching posts, grooming,
Right.
and playtime.
We also talked about the importance of a clean litter box.
Yes.
So important.
Yeah.
Now let's delve a little deeper into understanding their behavior.
Okay.
My cat has some quirky habits,
Yeah.
and I'd love to understand her better.
For example,
Okay.
have you ever noticed how cats seem to have a sixth sense for when you're busy?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
It's like they know exactly when I'm about to start an important work call.
That's their way of seeking attention.
Mm,
They want to be involved in everything we do.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And what about those times when they bring us gifts? Like a dead mouse?
It might seem gross to us,
Yeah.
but it's actually a sign of affection. They're trying to share their hunting skills with us.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
In a slightly creepy way.
Right.
Speaking of hunting, it's important to provide indoor cats with opportunities to exercise their natural instincts.
Yes, definitely.
So playing with them is more than just fun.
Yeah.
It's essential for their well-being.
Exactly. Games that involve chasing.
Oh, right. Pouncing and stalking help them stay mentally and physically stimulated.
I've noticed that my cat goes crazy for feather ones and laser pointers.
Those are great choices.
Really?
They mimic the movements of prey, which triggers their hunting instincts.
That's cool. Now let's talk about another important aspect of cat care. Their diet.
Okay.
What should they eat?
Cats are obligate carnivores, which means they need meat to survive.
So that explains why they're so obsessed with tuna.
Exactly. High-quality cat food should be their primary source of nutrition. It's specially formulated to meet their specific dietary needs.
But what about treats?
Yeah.
My cat loves those little fishy snacks.
Treats are okay in moderation,
Okay.
but it's important not to overdo it.
Right.
Overfeeding can lead to obesity,
Oh.
which can cause health problems.
So just like with humans,
Yeah,
portion control is key.
exactly.
All right. Now,
Yeah.
let's talk about creating a cat-friendly environment.
What are some things we can do to make our homes more welcoming for our feline companions?
Cats love vertical spaces.
Oh, okay.
So providing them with cat trees or shelves gives them a sense of security and a place to climb.
My cat loves to perch on top of my bookshelf and survey her kingdom.
That's a perfect example.
Cool.
They also enjoy having access to windows,
Okay.
so they can watch the world go by.
It's like their own personal TV show.
Right.
And don't forget about hiding places.
Yeah.
Cats need a cozy spot where they can retreat and feel safe.
That explains why your cat loves to curl up in cardboard boxes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Simple things like boxes or blankets can provide them with the sense of security they crave. So we've covered a lot of ground in this, from understanding their behavior to creating a stimulating environment.
Yes, we have.
We've also touched on the importance of a balanced diet,
Right.
but there's still more to explore. We'll be back in part 3 to discuss some common behavioral challenges and how to address them.
Sounds good.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of cats.
It's great to be back.
So we've been talking about,
Yeah.
all the fun things about having a cat.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens when they do something you don't like?
That's a great question.
Yeah,
Sometimes our feline friends can be a little mischievous.
that's for sure. My cat loves to scratch my furniture, even though she has a scratching post.
That's a common problem.
It is.
It can be frustrating when they ignore the scratching post and go for the sofa.
So what can we do about it?
Well, first, it's important to understand why they scratch.
Okay.
Cats need to scratch to keep their claws healthy
Oh.
and to stretch their muscles.
So it's not just about being naughty.
Exactly. They're just following their natural instincts.
Okay.
So instead of punishing them, we need to redirect their scratching to appropriate places.
Like their scratching post.
Right. Make sure the scratching post is appealing to your cat.
Yeah, okay.
Tall and sturdy,
Uh-huh.
covered in a material they enjoy scratching, and placed in a spot they like to hang out.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What about other common problems? Like
Mm.
spraying or going outside the litter box?
Those can be tricky issues.
Yeah.
And it's important to rule out any medical problems first.
Okay.
A trip to the vet is always a good idea if you notice a sudden change in your cat's behavior.
So it could be a sign of something more serious.
It could be,
Oh, wow.
but sometimes it's simply a matter of stress or anxiety.
Okay.
Cats are sensitive creatures,
Yeah.
and even small changes in their environment can upset them.
Like moving to a new house or bringing in a new pet.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
In those cases, it's important to be patient and create a calm, predictable environment for your cat.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What about aggression?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes my cat hisses or swats at me for seemingly no reason.
Again, it's important to understand their body language.
Oh, okay.
Cats have subtle ways of communicating their discomfort,
Uh-huh.
and we might be missing those signals.
So a twitch of the tail or flattened ears could be a warning sign.
Exactly. Learning to read your cat's body language can help you avoid those aggressive outbursts.
That's helpful advice.
Yeah.
What about nighttime activity?
Mm-hmm.
My cat seems to think 3 a.m. is
Yeah.
the perfect time to play.
The infamous zoomies.
Yeah.
While some nighttime activity is normal,
Right.
you can try to tire your cat out with playtime before bed.
So a good play session can help them sleep through the night.
It can certainly help.
Okay.
And establishing a consistent bedtime routine can also signal to them that it's time to settle down.
So after this deep dive into cat care,
Yeah.
what's the most important thing for our listeners to remember?
I think the key takeaway is that every cat is an individual.
That's true.
What works for one cat might not work for another.
Right.
It's all about getting to know your cat, understanding their needs, and building a strong bond based on love and respect.
That's a great point. And while we've covered a lot of information,
Yeah.
there's always more to learn. Don't be afraid to ask for help from your vet or a cat behaviorist
Yeah, good advice.
if you're facing challenges. So there you have it, folks. We've explored everything from basic care to understanding their quirky
It's
behaviors.
been fun.
We hope you've enjoyed this deep dive into the world of cats. Remember, with a little patience and understanding, you can create a happy and fulfilling life for both you and your feline companion. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives. Zero-calorie cola.
0-calorie cola. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
The vending machine gets restocked. End of the day, every single zero-calorie cola is gone. But all the regular cola,
Mm-hmm.
still there, just like staring back at me.
Really? Huh. In my office, it's the total opposite. Like, I
Yes.
swear I get these looks every time I grab a 0-calorie cola at lunch.
Yeah. It's like there's this like shift happening. More and more people going for the zero calorie. But then some people they're sticking with the classic.
Yeah, yeah. It just makes you wonder why, right? Is it just about health, or is there something else going on? Like
Right.
maybe social pressure, or even just people's tastes changing.
Well, one of my coworkers, she was telling me she lost like 10 pounds just from switching to zero-calorie cola.
Yeah.
She swears up and down that's all she changed.
Well, sure, cutting out all that sugar can definitely help if you're trying to lose weight. But, 10 pounds, I kind of doubt that was the only thing she changed. Probably some other stuff going on too, like maybe her diet overall, or how much she's exercising.
Yeah, true. But her story, I think it just goes to show how much more aware people are of what they're drinking these days. It's not just about the taste anymore. It's about trying to be healthier too.
For sure. And sometimes even those healthier choices, they come with their own things to think about. Like my doctor actually told me I should be careful with even 0-calorie cola because of the acid. It's not great for your teeth apparently.
Oh, really? That's good to know. What did she say you should do?
Well, she said using a straw is good. It helps to keep the cola off your teeth. And drinking water afterwards can help too. It sort of neutralizes the acid. Oh, and don't brush your teeth right after. Wait at least like 30 minutes.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a good reminder that even when you're trying to be healthy, there's always those little things to watch out for.
Totally. And speaking of healthy choices, I've noticed that some offices are moving like way beyond soda these days. They're offering things like sparkling water with fruit in it, or even kombucha on tap.
Yeah. A friend of mine, her office just got this fancy sparkling water dispenser. You can add all kinds of fresh fruit to it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it seems like there's this real push to give people healthier, more interesting options instead of sugary drinks. It's not just about saying like no soda anymore. It's about giving people tasty, fun stuff that's actually good for them too.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's like this whole new world of drinks is opening up and people are trying all sorts of new things. But it still makes me wonder, is this zero-calorie cola thing, is it just a fad or is it really here to stay?
That's the big question, right? Like I think there are a few things to think about here. First off, people are way more aware of the health risks of sugary drinks now, and I don't see that changing anytime soon.
Yeah, you've got all those public health campaigns talking about sugar and how it's linked to things like diabetes and heart disease.
Exactly. And second, you've got all these big beverage companies. They're putting tons of money into making and selling 0-calorie options. They see this as a huge opportunity, so I doubt they're going to let it disappear easily.
That makes sense. I mean, they're really working on making zero-calorie cola taste better and appeal to more people.
True, but there's another side to this whole thing too. The science behind all these artificial sweeteners, it's constantly changing, and there's still a lot of debate about what they might do to your health in the long run.
Yeah, that's true. I've seen some studies that raise concerns, but then others say they're perfectly safe. It's hard to know what to believe sometimes.
It's definitely complicated, and it's important to stay informed and make choices that feel right for you. At the end of the day, the future of 0-calorie cola, it probably comes down to a bunch of things, like how much people want it, what the science says, and even social trends.
So it's not just about what's actually in the can. It's about how people see these drinks and how they fit into their lives.
Exactly. It's about the taste, the health stuff, the social pressure, even our own personal values.
It's kind of amazing how something as simple as a can of cola can lead to such a complex and interesting conversation.
It really is, and I think this is just the beginning. There's so much more to explore, from the science of artificial sweeteners to how these companies market zero-calorie cola and what's driving its popularity.
Well, on that note, I think it's time to take a little sip of knowledge, so to speak, and really dive deep into some of these fascinating topics.
After the break, we'll be exploring the world of artificial sweeteners. We'll talk about their history, how they work, and all that debate about their potential effects on our health. We'll also look at how beverage companies are marketing zero-calorie cola and what's making it so popular.
So stay tuned for more insights and thought-provoking discussions. And hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you're enjoying the deep dive. We'll be right back with part 2. Welcome back to the deep dive. Before we took that pause, we were talking about how popular zero-calorie cola is becoming and all the things that might be contributing to its rise.
Yeah, it's like a whole new world of soda has opened up. I remember when Diet Cola was the only option, and it wasn't exactly known for its great taste.
That's so true. The early artificial sweeteners, they definitely had some drawbacks, like that metallic aftertaste some people got, but the science of sweeteners has come a long way.
So let's talk about those artificial sweeteners. What exactly are they, and how do they, like, trick our taste buds into thinking we're drinking something sugary? Well, artificial sweeteners, they're basically synthetic compounds that are designed to mimic the sweetness of sugar without all the calories. They work by stimulating the same taste receptors on our tongues as sugar does.
So it's like a little chemistry magic show happening in our mouths.
Exactly. And there are actually quite a few different types of artificial sweeteners out there, each with its own unique properties and taste profile. Some of the most common ones you'll find in zero-calorie cola include aspartame, sucralose, and acesulfame potassium.
I've definitely seen those names on ingredient lists, but I have to admit I don't really know the difference between them. Do they all taste the same?
Not at all. They each have their own distinct sweetness and aftertaste, which is why some people prefer certain zero-calorie colas over others. For example, aspartame is known for its clean sweetness, while sucralose tends to be more intense and linger a bit longer on the palate.
So it's like choosing between different types of sugar, but without the calories.
That's a good way to think about it. And this variety in taste is one of the reasons why the zero-calorie cola market has become so diverse. Companies are experimenting with different sweetener blends to create unique flavor profiles that appeal to a wider range of consumers.
It's interesting how taste preferences can be so personal. One of my friends swears by a particular brand of zero-calorie cola,
Mm.
but to me it tastes a bit artificial. She thinks the one I like tastes like chemicals.
That's the beauty of taste. It's subjective and influenced by so many factors, from our individual genetics to our past experiences with different flavors. And this variability in taste is part of what makes the world of beverages so fascinating.
But while taste is important, I know there are also a lot of questions about the safety of artificial sweeteners.
Mm.
I've heard everything from claims that they cause cancer to rumors that they make you crave more sugar.
You're right. The debate about the health effects of artificial sweeteners has been going on for decades. And it's important to acknowledge that there have been some studies that raised concerns about potential links to certain health issues. But it's also crucial to note that many of these studies have been contradicted by other research, and the scientific consensus is still evolving.
So it's like a giant puzzle where we're still trying to put all the pieces together.
Exactly. And it's a puzzle that's made even more complex by the fact that everyone's body is different. What might affect one person negatively could have no impact on someone else. It's why it's always a good idea to talk to your doctor or a registered dietitian if you have specific concerns about artificial sweeteners or any other dietary choices.
That's good advice. It's easy to get caught up in all the headlines and conflicting information, but ultimately we need to make choices that feel right for our own individual health needs.
I completely agree. And I think it's also important to remember that moderation is key. Whether you're drinking regular cola, zero-calorie cola, or even just water, it's all about finding a balance that works for you.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like that old saying, too much of a good thing can be a bad thing.
Exactly. But let's shift gears for a moment and talk about how these companies are convincing people to choose zero-calorie cola. It's not just about the taste or even the health claims. There's a whole world of marketing at play.
Oh, absolutely. I've noticed that the advertising for zero-calorie cola has gotten really sophisticated.
Hmm.
It's not just about dieters anymore. They're targeting everyone from athletes to busy professionals.
That's right. They're using aspirational imagery and language that connects with a broader audience. It's all about feeling good, being active, and making smart choices.
Yeah.
They're associating zero-calorie cola with a healthy and fulfilling lifestyle.
It's like they're trying to rebrand zero-calorie cola as something cool and desirable, not just a guilt-free alternative.
You hit the nail on the head. They're tapping into our desires to be healthy, fit, and socially connected. And they're using celebrities, influencers, and even user-generated content to create a sense of community around their products.
It's fascinating how marketing can shape our perceptions and influence our choices. I remember when I was a kid, all the cola commercials were about having fun and being part of the in crowd. Now it's all about wellness and individual empowerment.
It's a reflection of how our values and priorities have shifted over time. And marketers are very good at adapting to those changes. They're constantly studying consumer behavior and finding new ways to connect with their target audience.
It's like a game of cat and mouse, with consumers becoming more savvy and marketers trying to stay one step ahead.
Exactly. But let's not give marketers all the credit. Consumers are also driving this shift toward healthier choices. People are becoming more educated about nutrition and more aware of the impact their choices have on their health and the environment.
It's like a two-way street with both consumers and companies influencing each other.
I think that's a great way to put it. And this interplay between consumer demand and market innovation is what makes the beverage landscape so dynamic and constantly evolving.
It's exciting to think about what the future holds for the world of beverages. Will we see even more innovative zero-calorie options? Or will there be a shift toward entirely new categories of drinks that meet our evolving needs and desires?
Those are great questions, and I think we're just beginning to scratch the surface of what's possible. As technology advances and our understanding of taste and nutrition deepens, we can expect to see even more creative and personalized beverage options in the future.
So while the zero-calorie cola craze is definitely a fascinating phenomenon, it might just be a glimpse into a much larger transformation happening in the beverage industry.
Absolutely. And this transformation is being shaped by a complex interplay of factors, from scientific advancements to evolving consumer preferences to the ever-present influence of marketing. It's a dynamic and exciting world, and we'll continue to explore it after a quick break. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Before the break, we were talking about how the future of beverages might look with all these new tastes and trends popping up.
It really feels like we're on the verge of a beverage revolution. It's not just about quenching our thirst anymore. It's about finding drinks that align with our values, our health goals, and even our desire for adventure.
I love that idea of a beverage adventure. It's like we're explorers discovering new flavors and ingredients.
And these new discoveries are being fueled by some pretty amazing innovations. We're seeing drinks with functional benefits like added vitamins, minerals, or even adaptogens.
Adaptogens, those sound pretty intense. What exactly are they?
Adaptogens are basically natural substances, usually herbs or mushrooms, that are believed to help our bodies adapt to stress and maintain balance.
So it's like giving our bodies a little extra support to handle the ups and downs of daily life.
Exactly. And there are all sorts of adaptogens out there, each with its own unique properties. Some are known for boosting energy, while others help promote relaxation or improve focus.
It's fascinating how we're incorporating these ancient remedies into modern beverages. It's like blending the wisdom of the past with the innovation of the present.
It's a beautiful fusion, and it speaks to our growing desire for natural and holistic approaches to health and well-being. But beyond functional benefits, we're also seeing a surge in beverages that prioritize sustainability.
Yes. I've noticed more and more brands using eco-friendly packaging and talking about their commitment to responsible sourcing.
Consumers are becoming increasingly aware of the environmental impact of their choices, and they're demanding more transparency and accountability from the companies they support.
It's like we're voting with our wallets, choosing brands that align with our values.
Exactly. And this consumer activism is driving real change in the beverage industry. Companies are realizing that they need to prioritize sustainability if they want to stay competitive.
It's inspiring to see how we as consumers have the power to shape the market and push for a more sustainable future.
It's a reminder that our choices matter even when it comes to something as seemingly simple as a drink.
This whole conversation has really made me think about my own beverage journey.
Yeah.
I used to be all about sugary sodas, but now I find myself reaching for sparkling water with a squeeze of lime or a refreshing cup of herbal tea.
It's amazing how our tastes evolve as we learn and grow.
And as we become more aware of the impact our choices have on our health and the world around us.
Exactly. So whether you're a diehard zero-calorie cola fan or you're exploring the world of functional beverages and sustainable sips, remember to savor each drink and appreciate the journey that brought it to your glass.
That's such a beautiful thought. It's like we're raising a toast to innovation, sustainability, and the power of mindful consumption.
Cheers to that. And thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of beverages. We hope you've gained some new insights and maybe even discovered a few new drinks to try.
And remember, if you want to stay hydrated with knowledge, be sure to subscribe to The Deep Dive for more fascinating explorations of everyday topics. Until next time, stay curious and keep on sipping. Welcome back to The Deep Dive. Before the break, we were talking about how the future of beverages might look with all these new tastes and trends popping up.
It really feels like we're on the verge of a beverage revolution. It's not just about quenching our thirst anymore. It's about finding drinks that align with our values, our health goals, and even our desire for adventure.
I love that idea of a beverage venture. It's like we're explorers discovering new flavors and ingredients.
And these new discoveries, they're being fueled by some pretty amazing innovations. We're seeing drinks with functional benefits like added vitamins and minerals, or even adaptogens.
Adaptogens, those sound pretty intense. What exactly are they?
Adaptogens are basically natural substances, usually herbs or mushrooms, that are believed to help our bodies adapt to stress and maintain balance.
So it's like giving our bodies a little extra support to handle the ups and downs of daily life.
Exactly. And there are all sorts of adaptogens out there, each with its own unique properties. Some are known for boosting energy, while others help promote relaxation or improve focus.
It's fascinating how we're incorporating these ancient remedies into modern beverages.
Yeah.
It's like blending the wisdom of the past with the innovation of the present.
It's a beautiful fusion, and it speaks to our growing desire for natural and holistic approaches to health and well-being. But beyond those functional benefits, we're also seeing a surge in beverages that prioritize sustainability.
Yes. I've noticed more and more brands using eco-friendly packaging and talking about their commitment to responsible sourcing.
Consumers are becoming increasingly aware of the environmental impact of their choices, and they're demanding more transparency and accountability from the companies they support.
It's like we're voting with our wallets, choosing brands that align with our values.
Exactly. And this consumer activism, it's driving real change in the beverage industry. Companies are realizing that they need to prioritize sustainability if they want to stay competitive.
It's inspiring to see how we as consumers have the power to shape the market and push for a more sustainable future.
It's a reminder that our choices matter, even when it comes to something as seemingly simple as a drink.
This whole conversation has really made me think about my own beverage journey. I used to be all about sugary sodas, but now I find myself reaching for sparkling water with a squeeze of lime or a refreshing cup of herbal tea.
It's amazing how our tastes evolve as we learn and grow.
And as we become more aware of the impact our choices have on our health and the world around us.
Exactly. So whether you're a diehard zero-calorie cola fan or you're exploring the world of functional beverages and sustainable sips, remember to savor each drink and appreciate the journey that brought it to your glass.
That's such a beautiful thought. It's like we're raising a toast to innovation, sustainability, and the power of mindful consumption.
Cheers to that. And thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of beverages. We hope you've gained some new insights and maybe even discovered a few new drinks to try.
And remember, if you want to stay hydrated with knowledge, be sure to subscribe to the Deep Dive for more fascinating explorations of everyday topics. Until next time, stay curious and keep on sipping.
Thanks for joining the conversation here at Kaz English. We hope you found it fun and informative. Don't forget to check out kazapp.uk. That's kazapp.uk for more tips, resources, and interactive practice. Keep exploring, keep chatting, and we'll catch up with you again soon.